My name's Radically Rachel. I'm a tarot card reader, a Reiki practitioner, and a spiritual life coach from the Chicagoland suburbs. Today, I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about keeping an altar space. An altar space is the place where you might go to spend some time with the divine in prayer or meditation. My altar space has not been. I'm a little embarrassed about my altar space. I haven't taken care of my altar in over a year. It's a story. Let's go. We listen and we don't judge. Because I'm going to show you my altar space and we're going to go through it and I'm going to clean it because it desperately needs it. Oh, that was nasty. Sorry, Papa. Okay, let's be real. When your altar space looks like this, how is your spiritual practice really going for you, huh? I'm a little embarrassed, but I'm also not because it's been one hell of a year. About a year ago, my mom died. It was sudden. She got sick very suddenly, but she passed within 3 weeks. We didn't know it at the time, but she had metastatic cancer, lung cancer, liver cancer, probably brain cancer as well. And it was devastating for my family. My mom and I have always had a very sordid relationship. I call her my abuser. I had a toxic and traumatic childhood. I survived physical, emotional, and verbal abuse on a daily basis. I had been waffling between going no contact or not the last couple months before she died. I didn't imagine that no contact would mean that she would die. But here we are. Nearly a year has passed, and I'm still figuring things out day by day. I could definitely say that I think of her a lot more now than I did before, and I talk about her a lot more than I probably did before as well. And over the last year, my connection to Source, Spirit, God, Goddess, Divine has remained the same in that I still trust and know that the creator of the universe has a plan for me, and I am co-creating that in the here and now. But it's also been rough. I've had days where it's hard to make meaning of my life. It's hard to find my purpose. It's hard to desire for anything. It's hard to want to get out of bed. It's hard to do the things that I usually do. It's all just hard. And so, one of the last things on my mind has been tending to my altar space, but I know that it's time and I really truly need to clean a bit of it and give it a good dusting and reorganize it, but recenter this space so that I can really ground myself and start anew. It's never too late to begin a new practice. It's never too late to begin again. It's never too late to try something different. Also, since my mom passed away, I had to put down my other cat, Tanner. And I since have this new baby named Leo. He's very sweet, very playful. He's also a rascal. You may have seen my orange cat Tanner in my other tarot videos. He was my spirit guide, angel, sweet baby. We have been together in lifetimes before, and I know that he will find me in lifetimes again. But that was also a huge loss that I was not prepared for. And so that definitely took a toll on me. So let's go through everything and see what we have here and why was it on my altar at some time. I've never had this alcohol, but this picture here, it made me imagine what heaven must be like. And if you see that table, the table reflects the sky. It's a gorgeous mirror almost. And there's just so many people gathered at this table. The table goes all the way down. And I feel like that is what heaven is like when you get there. A big celebration. So it was meaningful to me when I came across this ad. Here's to the story. This stole belonged to my grandfather. He was a pastor. And this is the same stole that I wear when I host spiritual retreats. And this is the same stole that I wear when I perform weddings. A dear friend printed me my human design chart. I'm not super knowledgeable about human design, but I know that I'm a projector. And I know that I need to wait for the invitation. The channel of the prodigal, ability to mature, grow, and expand one's skills and talents over time. That's just one of my channels. This book that I have attempted to read a few times. Haven't finished it yet. Here it is. Now I'll remember. I host spiritual retreats. One of those retreats features like a death ritual where we want to really die to ourselves. And the participants all wrote themselves a letter in that ritual to say goodbye to themselves. And I asked if I could keep their letters. And so these are a treasure to me. Other birthday cards from important people. Words of affirmation is my love language, and so I always treasure cards and such. My mama. A trash bag. This is from the last time that I had thought I was going to organize this, and I didn't. Sweet little trinkets given to me by friends. Little trinkets I like to keep. My grandfather used to love to eat grapefruit, and so that is meaningful to me. When I was a girl, I didn't realize that I was a witch exactly yet, but in middle school, somebody gifted me some tea lights, and I distinctly remember sitting on my bedroom floor, putting the tea lights around me in a circle, and I used a little bit of glitter, and I was throwing glitter into the flames, and that is a moment that I probably could say was one of my fondest memories as a little witch. But as a child, I loved to collect little trinkets and things. Barbies, Polly Pockets, that kind of stuff. So somebody presented me with best teacher ever when I was a teacher. So I keep that little trinket as well. Here I have my tarot deck that is in Spanish because I am working to pursue being more bilingual in my life. My partner's family is Mexican and American, and his mother only speaks Spanish, and I want to be able to communicate more with her. And so, yo practico todos los días. Es muy importante por mí. Now, this is a lovely tapestry. I think I'm gonna have to like put it through the wash because it's pretty dusty. This was from my sister's wedding. So this is the Egyptian Ankh. I think that's how you say it. And this really represents the divine feminine and our portal that brings life to this earth. This is the womb space, the fallopian tubes, the cervix. Isn't that incredible? This is a blend of flowers that helps to aid in meditation and euphoria. It features lotus, hemp, rose, lavender, mullein, lemon balm, passion flower, and dahlia. That's so cool. This is a doll of Bridget. A bag of rocks. I voted, and at the time I thought that this was me voting for the first female president. So here I have some important pictures. How important can they be when you treat them like this, Rachel? Come on now. My grandparents at their wedding, my ancestors, my sweet bonus daughter, other loved ones, myself as a child with my grandpa. Teenage me, preteen me, gotta love her. This crystal egg was gifted to me by a former student. Isn't that gorgeous? These are my grandfather's ashes. I need to get a better urn to keep him in. Just my part of his ashes. This is glitter from an Odessa concert. I'm obsessed. And some other little trinkets that I got at Electric Forest the last time that I saw them there. That's my bonus daughter's tooth. She thinks the tooth fairy has it. Selenite. A charging tray. That's beautiful. Haven't charged anything on here in a long time. So stunning. We're almost done. Well, with the first part. My friends and I made eggs. We made little nests for Ostara for a coven ritual many moons ago. And I would really love to honor these treasures better with my shelf. I just haven't taken very good care of things in a while. And honestly, that's really how the last year has been. I haven't really been taking good care of myself. Finding it hard to eat, finding it hard to sleep well, finding it hard to attend to life. This is my cat's tooth. This is my yoni egg. Haven't used that in a while. Honestly, going through this, none of this is really trash. It all just needs a different home. Crowns. I'm a woman of many crowns. Just wanted to bless the rave. Bless the rave queen. You may think this is for school. This is for gardening. The children of May 16th can't help but be flamboyant. Thanks for noticing. Isn't it funny that I have all these like little, I have two stands here. I have two stands here for my trinkets. This belt was my grandmother's. Just love it. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. I should get a vacuum. So dusty. Now, you might have seen some other online content that showed you a beautiful altar space with some salt and some crystals and candles and flowers and herbs and a cauldron and all these other things. Your altar space is unique and special for you because you are setting it up intuitively. Your altar does not have to look like anyone else's, and your altar certainly shouldn't look like mine. I'd like to say that there's no wrong way to altar or right way to altar, but obviously the way that I've been keeping mine is not how one's altar should be. Your altar should be a space where you come and spend some time with the divine, where you spend some time in devotion, meditation, and prayer. You could sit at your altar space with a cup of coffee. You could sit there and journal. You could pull some cards. Being at your altar or leaving something at the altar may look different for everyone. Some people like to cater their altar spaces around the phases of the moon, maybe creating one with the new moon or the full moon. Some people might prefer to follow the pagan holidays, Samhain, Yule, Ostara. Most people have an altar space at their house already and they don't even realize it. You come home from work, you throw your purse down, you throw your keys on the counter. Maybe you have a little bowl or a platter where you put your keys, some change, movie tickets, a special photo, your pet's old leash or collar or something like that. That's an altar space. Your bedside table, a particular shelf on your bookshelf where you like to place little trinkets, your desk at work, your locker at school. You can create an altar in so many places, and you probably already have. Here are some things that you might want for your altar, but things that you don't necessarily need. Look around your house, look around your room, and you can start to find a few little items here and there to gather at your altar space. I'm going to totally refresh and redo my space. So it's not going to look anything like it did before, and I'm not going to use the same things from before. I'm going to find some new items as well. All right, so you want to start with a clean space. Some people would recommend using some incense or some sage or Palo Santo to kind of clear the energy of your space. You could do that. I got this table about 10 years ago on clearance. It's a little bit banged up and a little bit bent out of shape, but it was cheap and it works perfectly for an altar space. The woodcut that you see here is just a serving platter that I sometimes use for charcuterie, sometimes use on my altar. You're going to notice that I start to rearrange the items many times. It takes me a little bit of time to figure out how I would like to do things. I have a few candles here with some sigils on them. I will make a video in the future about how to create your own sigils. As you can see, I eventually decided to put all of my crystals into a coconut shell, into a vessel that I had. I didn't want them all over, which is probably a smart idea with my new kitten around. So it was in this moment that I noticed my grandmother's jewelry box that I had sitting on my other dresser. It's a beautiful pink peach color. Inside I have my grandmother's ashes and now my grandfather's ashes there together. I also put a lot of my photos and keepsakes in that jewelry box. You will definitely want to look up what is the current phase of the moon, what part of the wheel of the year, because if you do, you will notice there are definitely certain herbs, certain foods, certain colors, certain essences that you can work with depending upon the time of year. Everything came together very intuitively, and as you can see, I ended up kind of using skulls and this card from my mother's funeral to kind of memorialize her as I'm coming up on the year anniversary of her passing. I also found this extra storage box I wasn't using, and now I have a place to keep all my extra altar items when I'm not using them. I also incorporated my favorite perfume, Britney Spears Fantasy, so that I could kind of charm and enchant it this season. Thank you for joining me today, Radicals. And if you want to be notified about the next time that I post a video, hit the subscribe button, follow along, check out the podcast, leave me a comment, tell me about your altar space.